Welcome back. My name is Dr. George Mochocki. This is Marketing 105, Sports Marketing. You're taking me on a fully online class or a blended class or a face-to-face class. I teach at a community college, and you already have the material, the course book. You have my other YouTubes. You have access to my concept maps, mind maps, to the second tier. Print them out. Look at this video here. Is basically a overview of the whole chapter. You should have already read the book, or some students like to look at this first before they read the book, so they have a general idea what the chapter is about. If you're not in one of my classes, one of the instructors who may also be teaching this class is utilizing this lecture as a supplement to his or her class, or for some individuals who have to have accommodation and note taker, and for some reason they can find one to for this class. So this is a traditional lecture. This basically does not replace the discussion you have in class or your homework assignments or your, for lack of better words, your online discussion board. This is just a quick overview. Just to highlight some of the areas you should already be aware of if you're looking at it forward, or areas that you should know when you're completed this chapter. Okay, so chapter 7 is going to be on products and concepts. Those of you who had marketing or had me for marketing, advertising, remember products or goods or products, we look at that as interchangeable. In sports marketing, I sell goods that's tangible, and I also sell services, the experience you have when you go to one of the games, or whether it's a major league, minor league, high school, or the service you get if you're going to someplace and buying sports equipment as a as a participant or a spectator. So let's go on. Let's see what the quick overview. I'll try to keep this under half an hour. Okay, so I'm going to move this over just a little. I made it larger last time, but what happened was, let me see how much I have it on here. I tried 200, but if I did any kind of corrections, I had issues with it, but I will try. Those of you who had me, or for some reason you stumbled across me, I'm live. I don't do any kind of editing unless I really mess up. So here we go. Okay, the sports product, and it breaks a difference between goods and services. Remember, from a marketing perspective, one's tangible, one's intangible. Sports products and services are categorized, and we're going to talk about that later through product lines and product mixes. For some of you, this may be a refresher if you've taken Intro to Business. We talk about marketing in one of the chapters, or if you've taken a traditional marketing class, then you'll have some idea. But if you haven't, that's fine. The author did a real nice job to reading. And remember, even if you don't get enough information out of me or out of the book and the supplemental information that we provide you, Google it and find more out. That's how you're going to learn. If you're going to be in this field, you have to understand these basic concepts, the language, okay? So branding, guidelines for a brand. Remember, the whole thing, whether you're in sports or anything else, is to defend the brand, okay? Licensing, that's another way. I have a good brand. Who do I license to? That's why a lot of times you'll see some companies that if they're going a little bit too far, doesn't reflect my value or my mission statement, then my license agreement, I turn it off. You have a player that has, especially in the NFL, they had a lot of things going against them. You know, they had the abuse, the domestic violence, they had the kneeling. All that was affecting the brand, and if they didn't take care of it, they started losing not only participants but spectators, because as you find out, they'll find a substitute good or a service to enjoy their free time, free of any kind of political message. Okay, discussing the branding in detail and dimensions of service and quality. And a lot of this is, when you look at it, it's not that complicated. Think of yourself as a consumer. Forget the spectator. You're looking at products and services. You go to some places, do I feel like they treated me with respect? They treated me as a customer. They listened to my likes or not. I had some issues with my car, my truck. I took it in 3 times. You know, something that the key got stuck. I'm just throwing that out. They're very polite. So, like, I really feel bad. You think I'm making up stuff? Why would you make it up? You're bringing it up. You know, coming in there. I finally took a smart, but they figured out the third try. Now, I will give them a good write-up. And some people say, well, it took them 3 tries to fix it. they weren't there when the day she was there, so they were just taking my word. And my description is a little bit description to what the mechanic or the technician has to do. So I wanted to just put a good thing that was with Grosvenor Chevy. They're in those of you since we're local here in Lake County and Cook County. Excellent service. The service department of Wando, he and everyone in there are very respectful. I just show that. See, what am I doing? I'm a good customer, and I'm putting that information out. They're located in, I want to say it's Palatine on Lake Cook Road or Hicks, whatever it is, and Route 12. Word of mouth, right? Facebook, Instagram, all these other sites. People, that's why companies have to be careful because you don't want to upset anyone. You want that good response coming back. You try the best, they'll come back. They understand things don't always work out. Okay, discussing the branding process in detail, dimensions of service and quality, and product design related to product quality. Okay, I'll bring this up. Okay, now let's define sports marketing. Sports product, goods, services, any combination. When I'm marketing, I look at it as one package, not bundling goods and services all together. Do you know what I mean? One's tangible, one's not tangible. I might change my message just a little bit better, a little different, but overall, I'm trying to give that brand, that loyalty for people coming back. Yes, I went to the Chicago, the new stadium. A little bit more expensive. Oh, okay, maybe it's worth it, maybe not. All right, I went to the sports bar. I went to this sports store, and they were very friendly. I didn't have it, but they ordered it. They respected me. Not only that, what the owner has in a mission and vision statement that we talked about before. How do the staff relate to me? If I'm one of those that are picky or ask a lot of questions, do they roll their eyes, or are they sensitive and they look at every customer? You don't know how much he or she's going to buy that day. Don't look how he or she's dressed. Don't look at their ethnicity. Don't look at their age or anything else. If they got a MasterCard, Visa, or American Express, we love or cash. All right? Okay. So designed to provide benefits to a sports spectator, participant, or sponsor. And a sponsor also wants their name on something that's going. If the Chicago Cubs with the World Series, everybody wanted to be on a bandwagon. What about the other sponsors when the Cubs weren't doing well? They were still sponsoring because they know there's a loyal base fan, and they're looking to sponsor. They're loyal to our hometown. I grew up in Chicago, so even though I'm out in the suburbs now, but that's our hometown. All right, differentiate between goods and services, and we went there. Goods are tangible physical products, and that offer benefits to consumers, tennis ball, racquetball, and those that kind of should be consistency. When I buy something, I know it should be working over and over. A service is a little different. I can only judge my service by the last time I was serviced by that company or organization. Okay, services are considered intangible, non-physical. The game itself, was it a good game? Did I feel comfortable? A lot of people understand there's a long waits now with the security and everything else going on. They don't mind that. Okay, so now I can't bring my own drinks and all this, no water, no this. But don't gouge me when I get in there because I'm thirsty and now it's about $10 for a drink. My goodness sake. Do you see that's part of the service? I'm buying the good, but it's tied in with the service that I have to. We understand certain things, okay? Now, tangibility, ability to see, feel, touch the product, right? So you can say if you're buying some kind of melons or anything else, I see people going, this is a good wall. How the heck do I know? I'm from the city. Yeah, it looks kind of good. I think again, but after a while, maybe, I don't know. But some people are more intuitive on those. Okay, standardization and consistency. Expression service, receiving the same level of quality over repeated purchases. I'm always greeted nice. I always use the example, if they mess up on my haircut, would I come back? Most guys, I'm not sure. Ladies, one mistake, you're out the door. Even if I was with that lady for a long time, she messed up, and now I had to be humiliated, or my hair is not the right way. Guys, we keep it short. We're a little less forgiving because we don't expect that much from a hair. Not all guys. Some guys, one mistake, out the door. Okay, perishability, ability for store inventory for pure goods. I want something fresh. I don't want stale. I want it current. You go to the store and you see dust on some of the stuff. You go, oh gee, do I get a discount? Especially if it's 100% with real football with the leather on there, it'll crack. It's never been at least utilized and put the certain things on top of it. I forgot what it is, but my mind's off guard now. Okay, now separability. When I look at separability, quality of goods versus quality of service, or sometimes they're connected, right? Like I mentioned before, I understand I could buy my pop at there, but are you taking advantage of me, or how I'm being treated? Why do I have to wait, or or you're rude to me? Okay, okay. Now classifications of sports goods. Now remember, this is just an overview. You got a product line. You've learned that in marketing. You learned that in intro to business, and most students most likely already had the class either here at the college or some other place. A group of products that are closely related satisfy a class of customers. Baby boomers, myself, may like a certain type of a sweater. Generation Z have still like a sweater, but a different classification, maybe a little lighter, maybe more different colors. I may be more of a solid, you may be more of a plain, different sizes, are used together, are sold to the same customer groups. I'm generalizing. Most people, that group will like this because I fit in with my peer pressure, are distributed through the same types of outlets. Okay, usually certain goods I can only buy at the sports store. Other things may be at the department stores. Other things may be on Amazon. Remember, when we talk about Amazon, Amazon basically is like a Woodfield Mall, or it's what do you call it, a Gurney Mills. They're just a place where stores all come in there. Because if you buy the stuff, you buy it directly. It's just a virtual mall. They don't have, they do make some of their own stuff, but basically it's a virtual mall that people sell their products at a certain rate because that's the requirement. But I get more people coming in there because I've got a lot of people already have the free shipping and all that. So I pay a little bit more, but I have a larger audience that just go to talk to Alexa, whoever she is, or Google or some of the other ones that basically does the ordering for me. Okay, now the product mix is basically a bunch of product line. So I have a football product line, I have a baseball product line, I got a hockey product line, I got a golf product line, I got a yoga product line. Those are all product lines that I would expect to find in a sports store. I would not expect to find a refrigerator there. I may find ice coolers, for, or maybe barbecue, because I'm trying to sell some people who can't afford to go into the game and they're out in the parking lots and having a good time, tailgating. Okay. The solid. Now, when you look at the depth, width and depth, consistency, do I have enough of the right color? Do I have enough of the right size of the shirts? And do I have enough of a selection? And that depends on the demographic, geographic area, excuse me, that you're located in. Okay? And now Nike ads. And then remember, Nike got ads all over. Do you see what I'm talking about? And that was in the book. Look at it. I don't have to do. And again, when you click on these sites or in the book, you've got the sites and I've got them located in there. You go on their site, look at it and see what they have going. See, they got Nike rolls out new action sports product lines with portable base and startup. Yeah, it looks like I'm going hunting with this, guys. But that's the style. I wouldn't wear it, but you may. Do you see what I'm talking about? So just because a certain age group or demographic or ethnic group or whatever social class will wear it, others may wear it because their friends are wearing it. You know what I mean? And down the road, if I get it as a gift, all right. But where's the Nike? There's a Nike symbol. See? You see their brand? You don't have to tell. How do I know it's Nike? It's right in there. Okay? I would have made it a little wider, brighter so I could see it, but that's a Nike brand. All right? So we've got that. And I'm going to hit on some of these because a lot of people sometimes don't. Okay? So, and then here I got, I already went through that. Okay, so now let's go into the product characteristic. Again, when I look at product, the total product, the branding, the quality, and the design. I could buy something, when I'm looking at it, I don't want a knockoff. I want the real cups. I want somebody that is licensed to have that logo. There's somebody, because I'm thinking I'm paying back to the establishment, paying back to the players. That's my way of giving back. I got the quality, everything else when I see a Nike versus something that's an imitation Nike, because they've got the Nike symbol, but inverted, so it's not really a Nike. Close enough, and sometimes there could be some, I'm looking at, maybe they just did something different. You got to be careful. Remember, the brand name you protect it. That's why these shoe companies who they say that are making something with their logo, their brand, and their inferior products, because now I don't know it's inferior. I said, man, Nike's really junky now. All right? And then branding. Let's look at branding. And what does branding? The name, the design, the symbol, any combination a sports organization uses to differentiate its products from competition. Busy start at Rock Nation. Again, when you see these, there's those sites on there, and you have everything on in here for Michael Yorkman. Busy start, right? So what does he say? Has launched a boxing promotion division and is eyeing expansion into hockey business as it looks to enter into other sports. Now I'm looking at this. What are they doing? Here's the article. Who's this person? And they'll, if I wasn't into the sport, why even target me? Okay, all right. And then different logos and pics. All right. If I'm looking at University of Florida, you expect alligators in there. Right now, the alligator isn't complaining. Hey, don't put my face in there. I got a feeling. I understand that. You know what I mean? I always get a kick out of some of the, but that's me. But for a brand, if your brand is there and it's offensive to a lot of individuals, it's against the law, you have to change it. But you don't want to change your brand. So if you're coming up with a new brand or anything else, you want something that will weather the storm over different generations because people will relate to the brand. Okay? All right. Now, a brand should be positive, distinctive. And remember, positive, what's catchy now may not be catchy down the road. Generate positive feeling and association to the brand. They're loyal, they're patriotic, and, all right, easy to remember, easy to pronounce. Nike Easy. Some of the brands, especially some of these French restaurants, very good because you want to do. I can't pronounce. I'm going to that French place on the corner. So try to find of a name that's something that depends on your market. If you look at Visa, Visa is basically international. Almost any language could pronounce it. I'm just using that, from sport. Be translatable into the market logo. Imply benefits in sports delivery. Be consistent with the image, product line to organization. All ties together. I just, so if you look at certain brands, you already got it. You got the Cubs. You got the C. No matter what, I already know that's the Cubs, right? I identify real quickly with it, okay? Legally and ethically permissible. And then Forbes, let's see what we have on here. What does Forbes have? All right. When you take care of a quote of the day, make Google Assistant. It's probably a commercial, so I don't want to go through there, all right? But click on the sites. Remember, those of you that, what the heck am I doing in here? Let me just, hang on, I got stuck in here. That's the only bad thing about these pop-ups, you know what I mean? I can't get away with them. I got to go this way. Maybe this way. Okay, here's what I'm going to do, class. I'm going to pause it just for a second. Okay. And okay, I got just stuck. I was having a little trouble with my computer. I've loaded some new software, and then Microsoft Windows had an update to some of my programs. It may take 1 or 2 days before the other program basically falls in line with the new coding. So I apologize for that. Yeah, you see, I do have a pause button. Besides, I got myself my water and coffee. Okay, now branding of, and here's a figure. And if I'm looking at branding equity, success of headquarters, organization related, perceived. Remember, when I'm looking at a brand, if I'm looking at a brand, it's the perception. Marketing is, tangible, but the intangible concept is the perception in my brain. They're the best team. They're the best services because of the advertising and marketing on there. Okay? So merchandise sales, corporate sponsor, atmosphere, ticket sales. All that relates to that. Okay, now let's go back in here. Branding process in detail. Branding process, okay. Branding awareness, what's that? Consumers recognize, remember the brand name. If you have, especially if you're doing some, you ever looked at some of the jingles and everything else out there, and people sing the jingle, what companies is it tied into? If you cannot relate that jingle to that company, you've got a nice jingle, but that connection has to be there. When I hear the jingle, then I should be able to relate to the Cubs, to the what do you call it, to the Bears, or whoever, to the Hawks. When they play their music at the beginning, that music relates to that. So when I hear, I'm thinking subconsciously, okay? Brand image, consumers set a beliefs about the brand. They're loyal, they're patriotic, they think about their customers. So remember, in business and in branding, you do not do politics. You do all that stuff outside of your main entertainment. I can't stress that more. You see companies over and over are failing because they try to get political. You can't. You have to separate this, okay? Okay, now branding equity is value the brand contributes to the product. If your brand gets tarnished, let's see. I'll just talk about real quickly with the NFL because they're the one. They're real easy to talk. There's a lot of stuff about them, and I'm doing domestic violence. Now they're saying everyone that's playing football is. Remember, people just associate that with everyone and a player, and it could be just one bad apple, one player that hurts the brand. You have to take action and either punish or eliminate that person. And you see a lot of companies who license their things. They started dropping their endorsements for the NFL just for that reason, because their whole customer base, that has nothing to do with being political. Is that's out there, and we're dropping it. No one's telling me they're looking at the majority of our customers are good housekeeping, and it can be men and women, but that group does not believe in domestic violence because it's just upsetting the women or the majority of my customer base. Okay. Okay, now brand loyalty. A lot of people in the Cubs, I always use the Cubs, they were loyal with them all the way to the end. Now the Cubs won the World Series, the price is going up, you can still have the loyal fan. Maybe my generation, the other generation, Generation Z, prices are too high, they don't want to go into it, they don't find the loyalty, and all of a sudden the Cubs start going down on the down streak. I'm not saying that. Don't say Dr. George said that. There's another GOAT. No, don't get me involved in that. But what's happening, how do I keep that new generation momentum going forward? So I have to do something to get them out there, okay? And then this was the beloved brands, and this one's again. This one I had a pretty good link. I don't know why. Some of the links working good. Okay. And this one here's got how team paved way for beloved brands return. Okay, they had the Hornets on there. All right, back. Back the buzz. All right, so they started a campaign to get him back in there. Since owner Michael Jordan has reclaimed the Hornets nickname, the team has used on the logistics-driven transition plans to rebrand. Rebranding is now we're different on the new ownership. What happened before, you upset a customer, we're going to try to bring back. Okay. Sometimes rebranding works, sometimes it doesn't. You're taking a gamble on that. Okay, licensing. A contractual agreement. Trademark in exchange for a royalty or fee, whereby a company may use another company's logos. Okay, and you've got Allstate here. You've got the different what do you call it? NBC. Everything else was tied in, so they could have the what do you call it? The Super Bowl. There's their brand NBC when you're looking at it, and they had license agreement to show to view the Super Bowl, because they paid, but you're looking at back. This is presented. You got if you look at some of the like NASCARs, and you see we talked earlier in previous chapters, and you see all the stickers on there from different companies supporting the driver. He may win, she may win or may not, but their name's out there because they got a large amount of consumers watching that sport or that event. Okay, Bountiful Harvest, Super Bowl products, web link, top licensing, sports participant, the Major League, right? 4.7 billion. National Football 3.2. NBA pretty close to 3 billion. I think this one's lost a lot of sales this year, so I don't know if they're going to rebrand. I don't know what's going to happen to the next season when it comes up. Are they going to say, hey, there's some words they're going to put away, they're not going to do the national anthem? It still may upset individuals because you figure, hey, you just kicking the problem off the side. People don't mind what people do, but you have to be able to protect the brand. You're the man. Look, I used to work for ComEd. I can't say nuclear power is dangerous. I may not agree with it, but that I could do that on my own outside. But when I'm representing the organization, I have to take the stand of the organization, or I'm fired. No way around it. What the heck? You're working for a company that's doing that. Do you know what I mean? I mean, there's got its plus and minuses, but I may have a stand one way or the other. Do you see where I'm coming from? I'm not trying to pick on the NFL, but they're the ones that have been in the paper for a lot. So there's a lot. It's something current, and people can see what's going on, and you can see their ratings going down. Now, how are they going to bring their ratings back up? How am I going to rebrand them? Because the individual that you upset was not the real rich and not the real poor. A lot of times they don't really go. They may watch it as spectators, but not even on TV. But they may not be. Let's look at that one. It's more of the spectators or participants coming in there, but you gotta upset the core. You know what I mean? And then once the core is mad, core they don't forget. They don't come back. Some of your diehards even were season ticket holders were upset. Okay. Okay, Kaliga licensing company, 3.5 a building. NASCAR, NASCAR is pretty good. That's down south. NASCAR, 2.1 billion. This is a little more, and these are all. This one's estimated. A little more than I thought they would. You know what I mean? So what's this one? Texas. Okay, I always try to just to bring it in. Okay. Okay, what do we have? Texas, Kentucky top coach ranking, 4.6 billion licensing. Holy macro! What the heck? That's a lot of money there coming, right? Licensing industry coming in there. When do T-shirts account for a good portion of 4.6 billion industry? They're officially licensed and sold to millions upon millions of college football, basketballs, and other NCAA athletes fan, National Collegiate Association. Let's see. I'm reading quickly. All right, are we good? All right. CLC, there's a college, but it's not really a legal license company. All right, so let me do this. Remember, I'm live, and sometimes my mind goes beep. Okay, so football, they've got everything else in here. Let me see if I'm only taking a gamble. Okay, so now the licensing. Now you have two parts of licensing: licensee and licensor. Employee, employer. I mean, I'm just wanting to, so you know the hierarchy on that. So if I'm looking at the advantages of licensees, basically positive association with a sports or entity, greater levels of brand awarenesses, right? Saving time, money required to build high levels of brand equity because you're already doing it. You know, I'm buying their brand, putting that on my good. And look, if you look at sports stores or they basically try to sell some of their own products, maybe from someplace else, but they have to have the major brands there for people to come in and buy. And then they'll say, okay, this is almost equivalent, an off-brand or a brand never heard of, and I may buy. Or I may just jump on a bandwagon with it. Okay, ability to charge higher prices and clip on here. Okay, we got the NFL again. Okay, disadvantage of a licensee. Athlete, team, league, or sport may fall into disfavor. Look, I don't write this stuff. I'm a marketer. And now your job is how do I bring the NFL back up next season? What are you going to tell them? How are you going to bring it back? How are you going to bring that core customer back? Remember, they don't forget easily because they're loyal customers that you upset them. They will forgive you over time, but how long would that time be? And we got a clip. Okay, Hope Armstrong. And again, this is Lance Armstrong. I'll hit this one. I haven't hit that site. Okay, when you take the tour, this is the one that gave me the problem last time. Yeah, son of a gun. I'll have to get rid of this one completely. Okay, do you want to have contact? No. Alright, so let me just see if that worked. Okay, I'm having troubles. Hang on. I won't do anything with that thing. I'll have to delete that. Let's see, where am I at anyway in the time? I apologize. Remember, we're live. 26 minutes. We'll be almost done anyway. Okay, here what the issue is. I thought something about my computer, just some security with that site. That maybe my, remember, those of you who are looking at this video or other things, sometimes your browser does updates or your firewall has some security for some site that was coming in as a site to be cautious on. Nothing wrong with the site, just my thing. It's a good site. I don't know where it's just the way my parameters are set up on that. Okay, now that's a licensee, so you have everything else in there, right? The disadvantages. Now, what are some advantages and disadvantages of licensor? I'm basically selling my brand. I'm with the Cubs. I'm selling the brand. Expand it to new markets and penetrate existing markets. Generate heightened awareness of the sports entity and potential increases entity. That's what I'm doing. You know, I'm expanding other markets because I've got by brand. Nike expands to a lot of different markets. They're in the soccer. They're in everything else. They may even have they got Nike clothes for yoga. Well, yoga, how are you going to sweat? Don't get me upset if you're a yoga person. Remember? It's just me. I'm just trying to, I bring in a comment out here to stimulate your thinking. But you see how and yoga, according to them, it is a sport. Okay, they got all different kind of yogas. Okay, now some of the disadvantages are basically going to lose control over the elements of the marketing mix. My brand be on some of the sites on the web. You may have some sites that are questionable sites that may not follow your narrative or your mission statement or your value system. And one thing with some of these sites, they just put it on there. You don't know what the content is. So after a while, you say, "Oh, just not the content I want. I'll take it off." Or you talk to that site like Google or something. Hey, I don't want on the. They can't control as much because remember, there are a lot of times they're independent creators, for lack of better words. I do some podcasting for some of my clients. So basically, you're taking a gamble with that independent creator versus someone that's out there. But that's why you go for the independent creator. That's why I look at some of those sites because it's creative. It's out of the box thinking. It stimulates the mind. It's not the same narrative. And I always get a kick out of the mainstream media. I could flip one channel after another channel, and they're verbatim stating the same thing. Like they're reading off the same script. I think there's just one company that comes up with the news, and they sell it to everyone else as an outsourcing, and everyone has, when they're reading off those teleprompters, everyone has the same narrative. Word for word sometimes. That's why a lot of people, especially younger generations and some baby boomers, are looking at the alternative. Give me the real news. Give me your opinion. I mean, your opinion. Don't tell me how I should think. Just give me your opinion. What do you think about? What do you think about the Cubs? Not what I'm hearing on the main station or ESPN. I want to know from other people. I think there does, or this coach did this, or this one's too hard. Oh, they may not put it on there because they're all saying the same thing. So there's no more independent. And some of them, and very rarely do you find. And if you don't believe me, when you see how come when you're ever watching TV, and remember, I'm teaching marketing, no matter when I flip the channels, all the advertisings and all the mainstream medias are always the same time. I can't, I don't want to look at this ad. Boom, I look at another ad. They're all synced together. I think it's a lot of them. I think it's owned by one or two large parties. So that's why people are kind of going for the different, the web. More and more. I think they have a larger followership, and then you can still segment it through that market. But now, how do I use that? You can't do that because I'm losing. I got the baby boomers still watching the news on the regular mainstream media. Now, how do I get into the internet, like most of you will be probably looking at? Okay, clip of NFL for women, right? NFL wanted to come in there. Hey, look, come on. Is it for the ladies or is it for the men? You may have an NFL football player, the women's league. Do you see what I'm talking about? I'm just looking. They got the pink helmet. They got the different. Do you see? I'll be right. Green is probably. I'll be all right. I was going to say St. Pat's Day now, but I'm just looking. Remember, who's the ad for? Younger type of woman that's energetic with her husband, boyfriend, or with their girlfriends. Well, who knows, right? But there's the ads, right? I'm just trying to throw that in. Okay, and let me see. Let's see if this one's good. Okay, what do we have? I'm just trying this in, so you look at some of these ads. For some reason, it's not coming in. All right, I let it go. Okay, so now I've got that. Dimensions of quality of service. Tangibles, we talked about that, right? Physical, the facilities, appearance, personal equipment, reliability, ability to perform the service dependably, accurately, consistency, responsive, willingness to provide prompt service to customers, assurance, trust, knowledge, and courtesy of the employees. You may be very courteous, but your employees, so yeah, I don't know, I hired him or her. You hired him. Train them or get rid of them, okay? Empathy, caring, individualized attention to consumers, and then here's a basic clip of a store out there, okay? And I'll leave that on there. Okay, dimensions of quality goods: performance, features, conformity to specifications, reliability, durability, serviceability, aesthetic design looks good, perceived value. And perceived value is all in the mind. That's through the advertising and marketing. And the last one, relationship design, technology, technological environment. Everyone's got a smartphone. That's how I contact. That's how I get surveys. That's how I push push my products to them. Product design and quality. And here it is. Boom, 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 boom. And these two here go back and forth. But technology gets me in there, and product design and product quality is in here. All right, and we talked about that in our discussion or our lecture. Okay, so what do I have here? Again, I think I'm about like in 30 minutes. Let me just end this format. Oops, sorry, wrong one. I basically want to expand. Okay. Expand one. All right. So we covered everything on here. Are we good? Let me just bring this down a little bit. I'll do this as a closing. So we covered. So make sure When you're looking at this, we talked about the sports product, the difference between goods and services, tangible and intangible classification, product line, product mix, product characteristics, and they talked about it twice. I could touch, feel it, and the same thing with the services. Brand name should be what? Easy to remember, not offensive, and something that people could always remember. A model of branding equity tells you how to do that. Branding and process and detail. License agreement, again, the licensee is the employee or the person that's paying the royalties. Licensor is the one who's basically receiving the royalties, but they always have to protect the brand because the brand is tarnished. The licensee is going to drop them also. All right, dimension quality of services and dimension quality of goods, and then the relationship among products and designs with technology as its front runner, for lack of better words. All right, okay. I did everything else. Oh man, this is pretty good. Remember, no questions, everything else. But this is a quick overview. Read the book, do the homework assignments. You do well in exams. Use this as a study guide. Write in the stuff that you haven't. Some look at the beginning, look at the end, and then read the stuff in the middle. You just can't get it by one time and not looking at this. If you're going to be going to sports or any kind of marketing, you have to know what's going on. You have to know the terminology, the vocabulary, and the concepts, and so you could implement it if you're working for a business, small or large, or you're working for a larger major league or minor league or sports industry or anything else, or you're going into marketing, and down the road you're going to funnel your way back in there. And I'll see you in our next chapter 8, okay? And have a nice day. Bye. Okay, let's see where we at. 35 minutes. Pretty good, even with my pauses and my errors here.